from Coats and Jackets.
That's right.
And we're going to do a top 5 webcomic video for you today. These are my favorite 5 webcomics, and I thought I'd share them with you.
I'm going to learn about some webcomics.
The first one I want to talk about is Cucumber's Quest by Gigi DG. I think her name is pronounced that way. That one is one of the most gorgeous webcomics I've ever seen in my entire life. Actually, most of the ones I'm about to talk about are the most gorgeous ones I've ever seen in my entire life.
This is one I haven't really heard that much about, so I'm excited to hear about this.
Okay, so it stars Cucumber. He's a little rabbit, and everyone in the whole comic they're all rabbits. And she was greatly inspired by old SNES games like Dr. Mario and Paper Mario and stuff, I think. And so her art style is very cartoony, it's very beautiful, it's very painterly. I'm pretty sure it's lineless. Anyway, it's just gorgeous, and her color schemes are just incredible. So the story is about Cucumber trying to save the world, and he's destined to be a hero, but he's not really cut out for the whole hero, generic, stereotypical hero gig. So it's just kind of exciting in that way. And his sister Almond is just incredible, and it's it's really fun, really funny, really charming, and really adventurous. So definitely worth checking out. The next one I would like to mention is actually two comics by the same artist. Dershing Helmer is the artist, and she makes Mari and Turnham, which is another one of the most beautiful webcomics I've ever seen in my entire life. And
there's a lot of really great people doing a lot of really different, beautiful things that you don't normally see every day.
I agree.
I find webcomics is a great way to get introduced to all kinds of different types of art.
Yeah, because there's not as many stipulations on what you can create. It's just you're your own publisher, you're your own editor. You go out, you make whatever you want, the story you want, and there's no one over your shoulder being like, "Don't do that, we won't sell." So you get to take chances and be adventurous. So Mari and Turnham is her newer one, and that one takes place on Mars. It's just really exciting. It's kind of more mature. There's some violence and there's some implied child abuse in it, so that's trigger warning there. The story follows Mike, who works on Mars, and he is about to leave because of some drama, I suppose, that takes place on the Mars station. And some crazy stuff goes down. I won't give anything away, but it gets really exciting and really what's happening? What's going to happen? Oh my god, really quickly. So it's worth checking out. Her other comic is called The Meek, and that follows Angora, who's a young woman. And there's kind of 3 intertwining storylines, but the first one you'll run into is the one following Angora, and she's naked in the first part.
Yeah, this one I read a little bit of, but not all of it, so I haven't gotten
seen the
super
first
into
part?
it yet, but I've seen part of the first part, yeah.
Yeah. And anyway, it follows her and then 2 other characters whose stories kind of will intertwine, and it was some of the strongest and most compelling storytelling I've ever seen in comics to this day. I'm just so enthralled with this comic, and all the links will be down below. But that's worth checking out for sure. You should definitely keep
I gotta
reading.
finish it, yeah.
But another one I want to talk about is by Tom Siddall, and that is Gunner Craig Court. Have you ever checked out Gunner Craig Court?
I've heard of it, but I haven't actually checked it out.
Okay.
But it's one I've heard about, and yeah, I've heard
The name has been floating
yeah.
around in your circle. So this follows Annie, and she is a student at Gunner Craig Court. When you start reading it, the artwork starts out completely different than where it is today. This has been a very long-running comic, and his art style has changed dramatically from the beginning. And I actually have a friend who started reading it, and she was kind of put off by the art, so she didn't continue, and it's that sucks because it's so good. So it's sort of following her and her life in the court, and the court is this really strange place. There's some chapters are kind of spooky, some are really there's robots, there's creatures, there's ghosts, there's animal people, there's fairies, I don't know, there's gods in it. It's a
little bit of everything.
Little bit of everything. It's incredible, and it's super worth checking out. The last comic I want to talk about is Ava's Demon by Michelle Chikowski. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong, Chikowski. I'll write her name here.
And you can see how glorious it is.
Yeah. This is one of the most innovative webcomics I've ever come across. The artwork is breathtaking. Every page is a single panel, but I'll show you right now. So like each panel is just a single painting. So it's just like absolutely beautiful. So yeah, each panel is a painting, and each one is gorgeous, and there's so much meticulous care being taken in every single panel painting. She usually updates in batches, I do believe. And in between chapters, she'll do an animation, like a 1 minute, 2 minute animation, and they're gorgeous. And her music choices are fantastic, and it's just furthering the story. So it follows Ava, and her whole life has had this sort of creature living sort of inside of her, and nobody else can see it. And it's kind of made her life really difficult to deal with in school. And so that's sort of her demon. And it just sort of follows the adventure of where this, I don't know, partnership sort of takes her. There's a guinea pig over here that maybe I'll show you.
Little guinea pig noises.
I'll have to put a clip in just to show what we're talking about. Yeah.
Text.
So yeah, it just follows her and around, and there's like aliens, there's adventure, there's just gorgeous artwork. The story flows really well. I do believe she had been a story artist, which is a really awesome job in animation.
Yeah.
And yeah, you should check it out. So yeah, those are my 5 webcomics that I think everyone should check out, know about, give a good chance to.
This was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I learned a lot about a bunch of new artists, which is fantastic, because I love to hear about new stuff and find new stuff to read, and it's all very exciting.
And you know, all of these comics are free to read online, but if you want to support them, there's a lot of them have Patreon accounts that you can donate monthly to help support them and keep them working. Keep them.
Such a new, wonderful thing.
Oh, it's fantastic. I feel so good when you're able to like
even
help
if it's
support.
just $1 to
$1
a person
a month.
every once in a while, and then if enough people do it, it adds up and really makes a difference.
Oh, it does. It's support the artists you love. Help them create more. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Bonus comic. One more that I want to mention is Agents of the Realm by Mildred Lewis. It is a sort of magical girl comic. There are a lot of different people of color in like the main role and all the roles, and all the girls have their own personality, and they're all different, and they all look so good. It's well drawn, it's fun, it's funny, it's exciting.
Yeah.
It's just one of the best magical girl comics I've ever come across.
And I hadn't heard about it yet, which is funny because I love the magical girl genre and that kind of stuff. So I was really excited to hear about this.
Yeah.
Especially where it's like so many people of color and that you don't really get as much of that. So yeah, that's really cool.
Definitely.
And like the varied personalities and everything.
Oh yeah, and like the artwork is fantastic. And each character, like it's not just like same face, copy paste, copy paste. It's like every character has a different facial structure and nose and like hair. Just they look so different, and it's like not a problem to keep people apart, because I find a lot of comics will have like same face syndrome, and it's kind of like, well, if you do a close up,
even like printed ongoing finished things where it's just like I can literally see where you took this hair and you cut and paste it to another character, and the characters are standing right next to each other, and there's like no change in movement, and I'm just like it's like, come on.
But yes, so Agents of the Realm, beautifully drawn, beautiful storytelling, just fantastic comic. You should definitely check it out. I'm in love with it, and I fully recommend it to anyone who's interested in any kind of comic, really. Like, it's got action, it's got like character interaction, it's got like a little hint of romance sprinkled in a little bit, like it's wonderful. Check it out.